This is a special video. Potter Freak 22 has asked me to play the statue stories, and I think it's going to be mostly reading, but let's go ahead and have a look at that. It's under here, under bonus content and collectibles, and essentially because I've collected all of them, let's see what this does here. We'll press play. Okay, so I'm going to have to read this, and that's okay. Hopefully you don't mind. Beautiful but shy, Mary, the farmer's daughter, always got on well with everyone. The son of the village landlords fell for her lovely appearance, kind soul, and good temper, so soon enough they got married. However, the groom's mother was not happy about her son's choice. She wanted a better match for her only heir. She just couldn't believe her son would love a peasant girl. Deep inside, she believed Mary seduced her son. A storm was raging. Mary was walking down the hall towards her bedroom, when in a flash of lightning she saw an arm with claws. It was only a shadow from a branch, but she thought it was a bad omen. She opened the door, and in another flash of lightning she saw her husband, deadly pale. A clap of thunder smothered her scream. First her children, now her husband, all were dead. She was left alone in the empty mansion. When her mother-in-law found out about the tragedy, she put all the blame on Mary. Now the woman was sure Mary used black magic to seduce her son and was now paying for her evil deeds. This rumor spread fast. Soon enough, all the citizens of the village believed it too. Every time Mary left the mansion, the citizens followed her with angry and scornful gazes, even throwing stones at her. Eventually she stayed in the house, only stepping out at night. Then she would step out to the porch of the huge, desolate house. Mary's story became a legend, but this was when the horrible story actually begins. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to go to the next one here. Day and night, Mary wandered the cold corridors of the family mansion and couldn't find peace. Even her own relatives believed the lies and turned away from her. The wind in the house was her only companion. As time passed, Mary's natural kindness withered. Her tormented soul would not let her rest. One of those empty days, she entered a room she had never seen before, full of bookshelves and large paintings. All of a sudden, a heavy book appeared out of nowhere. The face of a demon was embossed on the black book cover. Long-forgotten hope rekindled in Mary's eyes. As she opened the book, she realized the pages had the key to bring back her husband and children. What was more important, she would get her revenge for all the suffering she had gone through. She rushed back to her room, determined to get back at the villagers for their wrongdoing. Okay, so that's that one done. A black moon shone through the black clouds. Mary turned her pale and death-like face to the big ancient mirror. Her soul was restless, tortured by pain and hatred. With her last breath, she pronounced the words of the terrifying curse. The mirror was covered with a gray haze. The reflection grew distorted and evil. The darkness was thickening in the mirror, stretching its claws towards the outside world, and Mary was finally free. Her soul didn't belong to her tormented body anymore. She felt free when a pair of ghostly hands grabbed her and pulled her into the demonic world through the looking glass. Her breathless body was found the next morning. Time passed, and the stories about a girl found next to a cursed mirror filled with twisted images and became the legend of Bloody Mary. No one actually believed them anymore until Bloody Mary made her appearance known again. Alright, we're getting into the good stuff here. Next. The headmaster of the boarding house was happy to buy such a magnificent mansion for next to nothing. As an educated man, he never believed the old woman's tales about the mistress of the house and her mysterious death. When tragic events began to happen one after another, he regretted his hasty judgment. With cold sweat on his forehead, the headmaster tried to ignore the shocks of inhuman power shaking his office. He was the last adult alive in the school. The children were gone. With trembling hands, he loaded his gun and hoped it would protect him from the ongoing horror. Again and again, his eyes pored over the same line of text from the large black book on his desk. The words were partially blurred. They couldn't decipher the meaning of their crucial phrase, that the only way to stop the curse was to break the mirror that held the spirit's tortured soul. All of a sudden, the shocks ended. The headmaster raised his eyes from the book and looked around. A black shadow began crawling under the door, slowly transforming into a child's silhouette. Demonic laughter filled the room and grew into an outrageous roar. The resounding rumble suddenly stopped, and the mansion stood still in the deafening silence. Oh, it's getting real good. Okay, one more, folks. Potter Freak 22, I'm doing this for you. Hopefully other folks enjoy it as well. Let's do the final movie. The Blackhill family has always been known for its diverse talents, but the young wife of the Count brought new meaning to this. People often joke that she was a witch because of her bad temper and coldness towards others. Her aloofness made her ignore the strange events that took place in the mansion. Strange noises and ghostly creatures reflected in the mirrors, slowly dragging the bright mansion into gloom. After the Count died, his widow took control over the mansion. The servants were afraid and never met her gaze. Mary, her son's wife, was the only one who stood up to her, drawing strength from her love for Richard. The longer the two women lived, the more the widow grew to resent her daughter-in-law. The house continued to fall apart. Years later, the mansion gained a reputation for its spooky nature, and even the bravest children did not dare go near it. They said the mirrors of the house possessed dark magic. Looking into any of them at night would turn your blood to ice. Eventually, people stopped paying attention to the house, and it was forgotten. The book that once belonged to the widow of Blackhill is still somewhere inside. So there you go, folks. That is the statue movies. Hopefully you enjoyed that little extra special super bonus. I'm YourGibs, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.